that information came direct from Meghan's ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, via an intermediary. And obviously Trevor Engelson is a very successful TV producer. He now has his own family. He's very happy. He hasn't spoken on the record. A moment where Megyn Kelly reveals that Meghan Markle married for money, that she planned it all from the beginning, and the vision board with Prince Harry on it was revealed to her by someone who knew Trevor Engelson.
What if the one person Meghan Markle thought would never speak finally did? Reports say she's fuming behind closed doors after her ex-husband, Trevor Engelson, broke his silence for the first time in over a decade. And insiders are calling it a full reveal of her true face. Sources inside her Montecito home claim she's gone into full damage control, screaming at staff, threatening legal action, and blaming her team for letting the story escape before it hit headlines. For someone obsessed with image, this wasn't just a hit.
Narcissist who cannot get enough of herself while she simultaneously plays the victim. My castle's too small. Yeah. The queen is mean to me. They won't let me call myself Her Royal Highness anymore, but I'm going to put it all over my stationery and on the gifts that I give to my friends, while she never stops whining. And at the same time, I'm getting all worked up. I'm a founder.
It was a full-scale blow. Trevor's words didn't just sting. They cracked the carefully polished persona she spent years projecting to the world. And now the cracks are showing. Eyewitnesses say Meghan erupted the moment she saw the headlines. She stormed into a closed-door meeting, slammed the door behind her, and unleashed a wave of fury on her press team, screaming that they had promised Trevor would be handled. One staffer claimed she shouted, "He was supposed to be silenced forever. How did this get out?" The room reportedly turned so hostile that several staffers quietly slipped out. This wasn't just panic, it was public humiliation. The leak wasn't betrayal, it was full exposure. By midday, Meghan was already fighting back.
Important. She married for money. It's very clear she bagged the elephant. She was thrilled. She became a, quote, princess.
Well, you can...
It was planned from the beginning. She denied being interested in the royal family, which she totally was. I know someone who knows the ex-husband who said she had a vision board with Prince Harry on it. And
before they met?
Yes. And she wants to
That's
pretend.
impressive. You got to admit that is impressive.
She nailed it.
Multiple media outlets began receiving cease and desist letters, signaling that her legal team had gone on the offensive fast, warning them not to publish a single word from Trevor's interview. She allegedly ordered lawyers to draft a gag order, even though Trevor never signed a non-disclosure agreement during their divorce. Legal insiders say that move speaks volumes. If his claims weren't true, she could have denied them. But instead, she's panicking. She's terrified of what else might come out. Her obsession with image has never been subtle, and this interview struck straight at the heart of her public persona. It cut through the armor she spent years building. Sources say she sees herself as the victim, not just of Trevor, but of something even bigger. Close confidants claim Meghan believes the timing of Trevor's interview wasn't random. She's convinced that royal insiders deliberately orchestrated it to sabotage her brand right before her next big public project. She's reportedly obsessed with the idea that the royals are still trying to undermine her. One friend revealed that Meghan thinks Trevor's decision to speak isn't personal. It's part of a larger plot. Critics aren't buying it, though. They argue she's falling back on a familiar defense, playing the victim when in reality it's her own past catching up with her. In a shocking move, Meghan
Markle did plan this, but what is new in terms of Megyn Kelly's revelation is that it is Trevor Engelson via an intermediary who has revealed this story, this existence of the mood board featuring Prince Harry. And let's just remember for a moment, Megyn Kelly is one of the world's greatest independent journalists.
She pulled out of multiple scheduled appearances, including a high-profile women's business summit in Los Angeles and a charity Q&A in New York. PR insiders say she's reportedly too emotionally shaken to face a live audience, knowing the very first question would be about Trevor and having no answer ready. Her sudden retreat has only fueled the fire. Public perception is crumbling and critics aren't holding back. They argue someone with nothing to hide would face the storm head-on. Instead, she ran. Her silence hasn't earned sympathy. It's being read as guilt, not grace. And now the rumors are getting wilder. A former staffer claims she has a private section of the mansion, jokingly called the Rage Room, where she supposedly locks herself away during high-stress meltdowns. It's reportedly soundproof and decked out so she can scream, throw things, or cry without anyone hearing.
He used Diana's favourite perfume. So when they met for the first time, gosh, he couldn't believe it. He thought he'd come from heaven. And I think that all this phoniness is going to drop from her bit by bit because people are so fed up.
Insiders say that just this week she smashed 2 vases and tipped over a lamp in a blind fury after seeing her name trending under hashtags, like hashtag Trevor Tells All. Whether the room exists or not, the story has only amplified the perception that she's unraveling. Behind the scenes, Prince Harry hasn't said much publicly, but sources say his reaction is telling. He's reportedly shaken by the backlash and embarrassed by Trevor's revelations. Insiders claim Harry has been distancing himself, spending long hours alone around their Montecito estate to avoid the rising tension and constant need to defend her. One source revealed that every time it feels like the drama has settled, something new explodes.
Many warnings can you receive? I mean, we obviously know via Tom Bower that Meghan Markle returned her engagement ring to Trevor Engelson via the post. But the fact that you're actually so blatant in terms of the fact that you want this famous royal, and specifically you want Prince Harry, because you know my reporting on Meghan Markle's early life in London, Angela, made it very clear that she was looking for a celebrity.
This time it's her past, a story he can't control. Reports even suggest Harry has warned her to stop pointing fingers at the palace for every setback. It's a clear sign his patience is wearing thin, and so is the emotional bond. Since stepping away from royal life, Meghan has branded herself as a champion for women's empowerment, mental health, and authenticity. But Trevor's tell-all has flipped that image upside down. He described her as emotionally distant, highly calculated, and obsessed with chasing fame, a sharp contrast to the relatable underdog story she's long promoted. The fallout was immediate. Social media erupted with thousands claiming they finally see the red flags they had ignored for years. Even her most loyal supporters are beginning to question how much of her public image was authentic and how much was carefully crafted. Podcasts, interviews, and glossy documentaries are being rewatched with fresh scrutiny, and her credibility is unraveling fast. And if Meghan thinks this storm is over, she's in for a shock.
He studied him. Now, if you do study him carefully, you can see he's very vulnerable, and you can see that he's yearning to get married. He told me that he really wanted children, but the time hasn't come yet, but he really wants to be a father because he loves being with children.
Insiders say Trevor isn't finished. Those close to him claim he held back the worst parts of their marriage out of respect, but now he's reportedly considering a full memoir or another revealing interview. The storm isn't letting up anytime soon. Social media is buzzing, news outlets are dissecting every word from Trevor's interview, and public curiosity is reaching a fever pitch. Every timeline, every rumor, every detail from the past is being pulled apart, and she's nowhere to be seen to respond. Her silence has become the story. Analysts argue that someone with nothing to hide would face the questions head-on, but Meghan's withdrawal is being read as a sign of guilt. And the speculation isn't just about Trevor anymore. It's about years of carefully managed appearances and public narratives suddenly colliding with reality. Sources say the fallout is spilling into every corner of her life. Staff insiders describe tense, silent halls in her Montecito mansion, with team members walking on eggshells, unsure what might set her off next. Her absence from public events has left supporters and critics alike scrambling to interpret what's real versus performance. Even close observers note the irony. She's long branded herself as a champion of authenticity, mental health, and empowerment.
They had a meeting. They were off there to look at the stars. And, all that was very carefully done. And it proves that we're not wrong to not believe almost everything she says.
But in the wake of this leak, that image feels fragile. Trevor painted a portrait of someone distant, calculating, and intensely focused on status, a stark contrast to the approachable, relatable persona she's cultivated for years. Fans and detractors alike are digging deeper, replaying interviews, podcasts, and documentaries, hunting for patterns, inconsistencies, or glimpses of the real her. Every polished appearance now comes under the microscope. Every offhand comment revisited. The more the public looks, the more cracks seem to appear. And it's not just online chatter. Insiders report tension in her personal circle. with even trusted confidants tiptoeing around conversations. Longtime friends and associates say they've noticed a pattern of calculated moves, strategic friendships, and selective exposure, all of which now appear under a harsher, more skeptical lens. Trevor's interview didn't just raise questions, it ignited a wave of reassessment. The public is connecting dots, speculating on motives, and analyzing past events with fresh eyes. What once seemed like success and charm is now being scrutinized as ambition, strategy, and carefully curated positioning. The big takeaway? The narrative she spent years controlling is slipping, and her silence is only amplifying it. Every unanswered question, every rumor left unchecked, every detail Trevor shared has made the world wonder.
Before Meghan Markle ever went public with her vision boards. But do you remember recently, Angela, Meghan Markle actually posted a vision board on Instagram. So this is absolutely the type of thing she uses.
Yes, she likes that, doesn't she? And you went through all the details of it.
Who is she really when the cameras aren't rolling? And insiders warn that the story isn't close to over. Trevor reportedly has more he could reveal. And with public attention now at a peak, the next wave could hit harder than anyone expects. The question looming over her? How will she respond when the next chapter unfolds? And can her carefully crafted image survive it? To set the record straight, Trevor stayed silent for years while she rewrote the past. But now it's his turn, and sources say he's got receipts. That revelation alone has reportedly thrown Meghan's legal team into full-blown panic mode. They're scrambling to block any future appearances, interviews, or press deals from Trevor, but without a formal NDA in place, there's almost nothing they can do. And the public reaction? It's electric. Once praised as a bold, modern outsider challenging the royal mold, Meghan is now facing a wave of skepticism colder than ice. Hashtags like hashtag Trevor told the truth and hashtag Meghan manipulated me are trending worldwide, with thousands praising Trevor's calm, measured approach. Social media is full of comments pointing out that he didn't need Netflix podcasts or glossy documentaries to tell his story. He had the truth, and that alone carries weight. Trevor was married to Meghan for years, and during all that time, he never spoke publicly. That silence? Class. But now, after finally breaking it, what he's revealed isn't just gossip, it's firsthand truth. This isn't another celebrity scandal. This is the unraveling of a carefully curated narrative.
You saw it up there, it was going to happen. And so that's why she would do all that. But isn't it awful? It's just too awful for words. And I think that there we are. And what she would do is actually to keep Harry jumping about something like that.
Meghan's post-royal brand has long relied on selective storytelling, casting herself as the misunderstood, silenced outsider. But Trevor's version doesn't come from tabloids, palace insiders, or anonymous leaks. It comes from someone who actually lived it. Before cameras, before titles, before the fame, and that's why it hits so hard. Her silence now doesn't feel like strategy, it feels like panic. Legal threats sound less like power and more like desperation, and her polished image is starting to fray at the edges. Trevor's revelations point to something far less flattering than charm and talent. They reveal a pattern of calculated influence, strategic reinvention, and emotional detachment. Reports suggest that more voices could come forward, adding layers to a story that was carefully hidden from public view. For the first time, the public is seeing cracks in the empowered Duchess persona, exposing contradictions between image and reality. Observers note that every step of her rise, social connections, exclusive events, curated public appearances, was accompanied by a careful narrative, a script that eliminated anything inconvenient. Trevor's disclosures now shine a light on those shadows, showing how past decisions, alliances, and actions contributed to the carefully managed story we were fed. For anyone following Meghan's journey, it's become clear. Something didn't quite add up. Trevor's truth is just the beginning. For years, audiences were sold a story. The empowered Duchess, the silenced victim, the misunderstood outsider, but now we hear it from someone who was there long before the crown, long before the cameras, and long before the curated chaos. So here's the question that lingers. How many more truths are buried? How many people have been silenced, discarded, or erased along the way? Trevor finally spoke, and the door is open. Who's next to step forward?
Difficult if you've got someone who is changing their mood all the time, changing what they're putting up on the board. So you might be there one day, you might not be the next. It's very disturbing. And he's a very vulnerable person, and she's taken 100% of that.
And when the next layer of this story comes to light, will the world see the full picture? Or just another carefully polished chapter of a life built on careful reinvention? The fallout from Trevor's revelations isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. Public scrutiny has reached a fever pitch, and every detail of Meghan's past, every move she's made is under a microscope. Social media is buzzing, news outlets are dissecting every sentence, and the public is asking questions that can't be ignored. Insiders say her carefully constructed post-royal image is crumbling fast. The empowered Duchess, champion of authenticity persona, is being reevaluated under a harsher, more skeptical lens. Every interview, every documentary, every podcast she's done is being replayed, dissected, and analyzed for inconsistencies. What once seemed polished and relatable now feels strategic and calculated. Sources say she's pulling out of more public events, leaving staff scrambling and fans confused. Critics argue that someone with nothing to hide would confront the storm, answer questions, and show transparency. But Meghan's silence has only fueled speculation. Instead of sympathy, her absence is being read as guilt, indecision, and an inability to face scrutiny. Behind closed doors, tension is reportedly high. Staffers say the mansion feels like a pressure cooker, with people walking on eggshells. Her closest allies are reportedly worried about unpredictable outbursts, while insiders suggest she's obsessing over every trending hashtag and news headline tied to Trevor's disclosures. Even Prince Harry's approach has shifted, sources reveal. While he hasn't publicly commented, insiders say he's increasingly distancing himself, spending more time alone and avoiding unnecessary drama. Reports claim he's tired of defending her every move and has warned her against blaming external forces for the backlash. The stress, sources say, is straining their partnership, testing the emotional bond that once seemed unshakable. Meanwhile, Trevor's measured, calm demeanor is being celebrated online. People are praising his restraint and the credibility that comes from first-hand experience. He didn't need a flashy platform or dramatized documentaries. His words carry weight because he lived it. That contrast is making Meghan's silence even more glaring. Observers point out that the revelations reveal more than just personal disputes. They expose a pattern of strategic self-reinvention, careful management of public perception, and a tendency to abandon relationships when convenient. The narrative that portrayed her as a relatable, misunderstood figure is now being challenged by evidence from someone who saw the private side firsthand. And the public isn't stopping at speculation. Analysts, journalists, and social media users are connecting dots, mapping timelines, and examining past appearances to trace how carefully curated her rise really was. The combination of leaked details, first-hand accounts, and public silence is amplifying the sense that the story she's been telling the world doesn't match the reality behind the scenes. Trevor isn't finished yet, sources say. He held back parts of their shared past out of respect. But now insiders suggest he may be considering a full memoir or additional interviews. The message is clear. Meghan's story is no longer fully in her control, and the narrative she spent years shaping is at risk of being rewritten in real time. As the world watches, one thing is undeniable. The carefully constructed image she relied on is cracking, and each new revelation, each unanswered question, each silent moment adds fuel to the fire. The real question now is, what else remains hidden and who will be brave enough to speak next? If you've got thoughts on this, drop them in the comments. Let's hear what you think. If this breakdown opened your eyes, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to smash that like button and share it with someone who needs to see it.